Hey, thanks for stopping by. My name is Tyler, and today I want to talk about how I'm able to find time to study for my certifications while working three jobs and keeping up with all of my other various hobbies I have. So let's talk about it. I do want to say, if you guys have been around for long enough, if you guys are OGs, you'll remember I made a very similar video when I kind of first started my channel, and I kind of wanted to remake the video because things have changed a little bit. I actually don't work quite as many hours as I used to, which is kind of nice sometimes. But I want to start with just a overview of my schedule, and then I will talk about kind of how I'm able to jam studying in there and kind of some of the tips and tricks and life hacks, if you will, to make sure I can kind of optimize my time and pass my certifications in an efficient manner. So, starting off, we'll talk about my Monday through Friday. So Monday through Friday, I work two of my three jobs. I work as a cloud ops engineer, just as my regular day job. Generally start around 7, get off around 4. And then between 2 and 3 nights during the week, I will work as a server at a restaurant until 10, 11 o'clock at night. So those days are definitely long, but I do still have a couple nights open during my week, which is awesome. I really enjoy that. And then during the weekend, I still work two jobs. I detail cars during the day, and then I work as a server at the restaurant at night. Small caveat on that one. I don't always have a car to detail, so not every weekend is jam packed with both weekend days detailing cars. But those are kind of where my three jobs fall into place. So when I'm not working, I did mention I have a couple nights open during the week. Sometimes I'll have between 2 and 3. One of those nights will be spent at the gym, the lifting weights gym, so I can get my weightlifting in and make sure I'm staying in good shape. The other night is generally spent at a tumbling gym, which is where I go to do flips and just tumble. It's super fun. I have videos on my Instagram if any of you care to actually watch those. But, and then on Fridays, if I'm not working at the restaurant, because sometimes I'll have Fridays off, I'll go and volunteer at just a local group, a local organization around Denver, which is super fun. I love doing that. I actually made sure I have at least every other Friday off at the restaurant to ensure that I can kind of participate in that frequently. But that's kind of what my week looks like. That's where all of my things fall into place. I didn't actually do the math on how many hours I work. I'm actually going to do that right now. Hold on. Quick jump cut. Okay, I'm back. So I went ahead and actually kind of counted everything up. And on a pretty medium week, not an unusual amount of shifts at the restaurant, and then only detailing one car on the weekend, it comes out to about 70 hours of work a week. So, how on earth do I find time to study? I mean, working 70 hours a week is no joke. I really don't have much free time. As I mentioned, anytime I do have an afternoon off, I use it to participate in one of my hobbies or hang out with friends. Where am I finding this time? So, let's get into it. The bulk of my time studying is actually in the morning. I mentioned I start work at 7, but I actually get to the office at around 5:30 in the morning, sometimes a little bit earlier, to make sure I can have a solid block of time to study my certifications, or sometimes I'll study something random like this last week I actually found out how to make bad USBs with Raspberry Pis. This one actually, it will, when you plug it in, it will run a PowerShell script that opens my YouTube channel and navigates to the subscribe button and then presses it. And then it navigates to the confirmation button and presses that. So that's pretty cool. I'll have to do a whole nother video on that. But anyway, that was completely off topic. But yes, I will show up to work around an hour and a half early in the morning to make sure I have time to study my certifications or study whatever I feel like studying at the time. So that makes up for probably a solid 6, 7 hours a week of studying. Sometimes that whole hour and a half block is not spent studying. Like if something is broken and I really need to fix it at that instant, I'm more than happy to jump on and start work a little bit early if I need to. But other than that, I have a kind of a few other ways that I find time to study kind of while I'm doing other things. So, one of my new favorite things to do is to actually put on classes or podcasts about the subject I'm studying while I roll silverware at the restaurant. So, every night I work at the restaurant, when it's time to roll silverware, it takes me like half an hour, 40 minutes to roll the amount I need to. I'll actually put on a podcast. Right now it's Kubernetes Unpacked because I am studying for my CKA, and the Kubernetes Unpacked podcast is just a really great podcast that talks about everything Kubernetes. Another one of my favorite ways to multitask and do some studying while I'm doing another activity that doesn't require much brain power is when I'm detailing cars. So when I detail a car, it takes me around 8 hours to do. I start at 8:30. I get done around 3:30, 4, somewhere around there. And a lot of that time actually is spent listening to, once again, classes or podcasts, anything that can effectively teach me something. Sometimes if I'm not feeling like the Kubernetes podcast, because sometimes it just gets a little bit stale, I'll put on like a book, like Atomic Habits is a really good one. The Millionaire Mind, I listened to that a bit back. That was super good. But I'll put on something useful to listen to while I detail cars, and I've actually been doing that for years now, and it's one of my favorite things to do while I detail cars. But those are effectively all the ways I study during my week. I really don't study a crazy amount. Like, I know some people out there are studying like 5 hours a day, which is hats off to them. That's crazy. I don't think I can do that. But I wanted to make a video talking about how I'm able to make the time to study. So I think that's all I have for you guys. If you found it useful, let me know. If you guys do something similar where you put on classes while you're kind of doing another activity, let me know. I love to hear stuff like that. But that's pretty much all I had for you guys. If you enjoyed the video and you want to follow me on my degree-free IT journey, of course subscribe. If you have questions or comments, obviously drop a comment. I do respond to all of my comments, so yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the comment section. But I appreciate you guys watching. Have a great rest of your day.